What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shirehammer Fantasy Battle Report's got another battle report for you today. Is the ETC round number 4, Novi, Serbia. Guys, what is going on? This is your host James, and we're going to go over. I'm going to give you a quick recap of what's going on in with my team, Team Mexico. Round 1, we played Norway. We had a small win. Round 2, we played Australia. We got a medium big win. Or medium win, really. Medium. We'll go medium. Round 3, we ended up playing Ukraine, and unfortunately, we had a medium large loss. We got 69 points. Wasn't that great. So we're going into round 4 against Portugal. Now, guys, here's the Portugal team, obviously, in this photo. There are a bunch of great guys. We actually had a lot of fun games in this game specifically. But we're gonna go over that matchup process. Let me pull up my matrix, okay? And somebody asked me, what is the matrix? Let me explain to you, because if you've gone through if you haven't gone to a team game, you might not know what a matrix is. The matrix is it's just a spreadsheet that tells you where you could predict how are you gonna do. Are you gonna win big, play big, or is this guy's army just designed to kill yours? Let me put it to you this way. I brought my general on a giant dragon, but has no ward save, and then the guy I'm playing against has 2 cannons and divination. All of a sudden, I don't feel so confident that I'm going to win that game. That game's a bad match for me, so it would be a red match. Or, you know, a simple one is like Sylvan Elves that brought a tree army, and the guy has like Infernal Dwarves with Pyromancy. That would be a red match. So you want to put down which matches you have a green match, which matches you have a red match, based on those scenarios, and then your captain, who's picking the team or picking the matches, they basically will let you know that they're trying to get you the best possible matches for your, based on your matrix. Okay, so somebody asked that question. I just felt like filling it in for them. And let me find out where I even put this matrix at. All right, cool. So this one was very interesting. All right, here you go. You got a picture of who matched up with who. My first initial reaction was, we looked at the matrix, and I have the matrix right in front of me right now, was Neil. Neil has basically greens and yellows everywhere except for the vampire player. He would actually do decent against everybody except for the vampire player. All right, so gut reaction tells you throw out Neil. Neil will be a good candidate to have a safe round 1, right? Or a safe person to throw out first, right? Well, my initial gut reaction, I'm telling you this right now, was if we throw out Neil, what ends up happening is, and the way I look at it, is their Beast Herds player, we actually had at least 3 players who have it as a very, very green match. Those 3 players are like, we can handle the Beast Herds. It's either Pyromancy or we just have things that counter his list. And I thought to myself, when I was thinking about throwing out Neil, and my teammates were like, yeah, Neil's the one, throw it out Neil first, was if we throw out Neil, they're going to give Neil vampires and beasts. All right? So I was like, I am not going to do that. That would not make sense. And they go, why? I go, because we want to give beasts to somebody who's going to score really high on that beasts. So I go, you know what? Let's throw out Charlie. So we throw out Charlie, and Charlie ends up getting their Ogre Con player, right? Well, they end up throwing out Warriors of the Dark Gods. I believe we threw out myself for Warriors of the Dark Gods and Pablo. And what ended up happening is they picked Pablo on that one. And I believe this is the 3rd game or the 2nd game that Pablo has played Warriors of the Dark Gods. Alright, so I get my card back. So the next card we end up throwing out was, and my team's over here like, throw out Neil. And because my first initial reaction was, don't throw out Neil because they're going to give him vampires and beasts, and we're going to lose the beast for somebody who could probably do really good on beasts, I ended up throwing out fucking Neil anyways. And as soon as I threw out Neil, I realized what I just did, and coincidentally, exactly like I said, they threw out vampires and they threw out beasts. So we ended up having the mirror match where Neil's taking on the beast. Now Neil, for the record, is going to win this game, all right? Just for the record. But he had it as a 10-10 match on the matrix. When I'm looking at other people's matrices, I'm like, oh, they have it as a big win on this. So that's why I had the hesitation. I was like, shit, we just lost that good green match. They ended up throwing out Vermin Swarm. We ended up throwing. Let's see, where's the Vermin Swarm category? Rats. There it is. We ended up throwing out Titty. I'm not entirely sure what they brought that I felt comfortable throwing Titty out. Let's see. Portugal. I mean, he has 2 Dreadmills, but it's mostly close combat. He does have the Demon. Everything else he has is like Vermin Guard, Vermin Hulk, and Disciples. No Jazales, stuff like that. But Titty was like, I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it. So we gave it to Titty. I forgot who the other guy is that we threw out for Vermin Swarms, but they threw it back at us, right? So then, here's where it gets really tricky, right? They threw out demons. They threw out demons, and again, so far in ETC, I fought 2 demon players. I got a 19 on one, I got a 12 on the other, right? I know for a fact my Pyromancy will mess up a demon player. He does have a Cortesian in this list, right? But I'm not scared of a Cortesian. I'm thinking of it like, it only has so many wounds. Pyromancy will start picking wounds. I'll be fine, right? The rest of his army doesn't scare me at all, right? There's only so much he can do, and I think I'll be fine, right? So I throw myself down, but at the same time I'm thinking, if they don't pick me, who else would be a good candidate to fight demons? And my answer to that was Alan. Alright? So I threw down myself, I threw down Alan, because we both have Pyromancy, right? Which gives us Joseph and Euron in the hand to pick their matches, right? What ended up happening, and this is partially because I was listening to my teammates explaining, oh, no, do this one, and I really feel like we missed out on that Beast Herds player, right? What ended up happening was the remaining players they had in their hand, they didn't want to fight me. None of them wanted to fight me for whatever fucking reason. Either they knew my channel, they knew whatever. They did not want to fight my list. Either they just scared of my list in general. I don't understand. So what they did is they gave me Dwarven Holds. Now, Dwarven Holds on my Matrix was a bad match because, to me, he had double organ guns. And I forgot to change the color on the Matrix to a red match because I had it as a yellow, like, maybe, whatever, right? But I was like, right before the match, I told Euron, hey, Euron, remind me to frickin' change the dwarfs to red. I saw it, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I got the dwarf player. He has double organ guns, he has helicopters, and the reason I rated it as red because the helicopters could hut my bunker, the fucking organ guns could rip up either my spider or my units. It's really bad. It's a really bad match for me, right? What I didn't know was basically how this game would go, to be honest. It's a big difference. All right. So Euron ended up getting their Undying Dynasty player. I believe we picked that. So Joseph will get their vampire player. We're trying again, I think we're just trying to change up how Joseph is getting his players, whatever. We're trying to give him stuff that we're hoping he could get points off of at this point because he's having a really, really rough time. Unfortunately, their vampire player is Mancho, and he is a really good player. All right, so let's go over how the games go. And yeah, anyways, here's my player. This is Erickson. Erickson is the dwarf player, and we're playing the diagonal, refuse flank. We are playing Spoils of War. All right, and I deployed everything to go first. Now, once I deployed everything to go first off, Erickson's a great guy. Doesn't speak much English. Okay, so the game was really quiet, which is a change of pace. Okay, which is a big change of pace. I like to talk. Usually, my other opponents like to talk or bitch about how their dice go or bitch about how lucky I am. But this guy didn't say shit. He really didn't say much at all. And it's because I believe he spoke. I forgot what he spoke. Portuguese, French. I don't remember. Anyways, so we went into our huddle. Okay, before the game starts, I'll just have it on this picture here. We went into our huddle, and as we're talking in our huddle, we have we're going over our matchups, and I honestly, this is the worst to me on the matches. I feel like they picked the matches, I didn't pick the matches, and I feel shitty on that. I feel like I let my team down because I didn't pick the matches. Part of it was because I listened to my team, which is fine. Usually it's fine. I do consult with my team every time I go through the matches, but I kind of feel like they had more influence than me. And basically, the next game, not this one, but the next game, Argentina, you'll see how that changes. Because Argentina, we have a really interesting game of picking the matches. But like I said, I don't feel like we got the exact people we wanted where we wanted them, and you'll see why towards the end of the game. So I go through the meeting, and I'm telling everybody, I'm like, all right, basically, Alan, burn the shit out of his demons. Joseph, try to take out that general. Neil, do your thing. You're going against Beast. That army. Titty, do your thing. You're awesome, right? Charlie got Ogre Cons. I don't even remember that. Yeah, it's the first match. Sorry. Pablo, going against Warriors. Show me what you got. And we basically went through it all. The ones that I was worried about was Euron, because Euron's going against Undying Dynasties. But we'll see how that goes. The last time he got a 10-10, so let's see how this goes. Anyways, back to this game over here. Let's go over the list. Here's a picture of his list right here. Erickson, he's on the right side. He has an engineer with a shield. He has an engineer with a Wormslayer rocket. That thing does fucking hurt. I believe it's a one-shot only, though. 10 Clan Warriors, 10 Clan Warriors, 10 Graybeards, 10 Graybeards, 10 Graybeards, Whole Guardians, Whole Guardians, Grudgebuster, Copter, Organ Gun. Okay? Pretty standard. It's a MSU style. He'll be able to grab the freaking objectives if he wants to, right? So I deployed everything because I got lucky enough to get first turn, and all of a sudden he deploys. And if you look at the map right now, back on this picture, he deploys in a corner, and I'm like, what the fuck? I did not expect that. Now I put my K-Pack on the right side of the hill because one of the scenarios is on my side of the hill. So if he decides to pop his head onto the hill or behind the hill, I'm going to ram him with the fucking K-Pack, which is what I'm going to do. I got the chaff in the middle. I got both my big blocks, my savages and my black orcs going for the center objective. My squigs are just kind of going on the flank, just do their own thing. Spiders going on the flank. But I was kind of watching, like, where's he going to deploy his organ guns, because I'm going to gun for those organ guns first, all right? Anyways, here's his army. Now, he actually does have this really interesting dwarf list with like dinosaurs and shit. It's a Saurian dwarf list. So he has these dwarf warriors with dino shields. He has freaking these guys are the Hold Guardians, but he has these helicopters. Look at this one. It's like a pterodactyl carrying a dwarf with a gun for a steam copter here. He has another pterodactyl here. He has pterodactyls carrying the Grudge Busters, and yeah, it's an interesting, fun army. It really is. We're gonna go into turn one. Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn one. Before the game starts, I watched him deploy in the corner. I look at Lucas. I go, Lucas, I need to talk to you. He goes, what's up? I go, the guy's cornering. I could, because I put myself as close as I could on the line, just walk in the center, grab the spoils, and walk away. He goes, if you do that, you get 13 points, James. You don't have to do anything else. I go, I know. He goes, okay, do that. He goes, your matrix, it's better than what your matrix says. Your matrix says it's a red. It's about the same. Go for it. You get some points. You walk away. That's it. I was like, all right. So right now, I'm thinking about exactly changing my strategy. I'm just thinking about going in the middle, grabbing that center objective, putting Koopa far away on the left side so that way his organ guns can't kill him. K-Pack's watching the right side, making sure he doesn't go for the other objective, and just doing that, right? That's my turn one plan. All right, so magic, I got a 1 on the flux. Go ahead and do a fireball onto the organ gun, does 1 wound, and that's it. Everybody else is out of range. Let's start off turn one. Dwarven holds turn one. He actually moves backwards. He actually puts himself more in the corner. And now I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? And again, like I said, we're not talking much. There's barely any conversation happening in the beginning of the game. Towards the end of the game, he opens up. We start talking more. We explain what happened in the game and whatever. But in the beginning, he's not saying much. And I'm watching him corner more, you know. And I'm watching Euron, who's next to me. I think Euron and Joseph are always next to me. Anyways, so shooting. His organ gun shoots into my black orcs. He rolls a 6. And so it misfires, so he's getting -1 to shoot. He uses the engineer, but at the same time he's shooting through a forest, long range, and a 6. He basically barely hits any, and I think he doesn't kill a single one. This one shoots, ends up killing one off, and it's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. As you can see, this is how I move. I start moving up, and at this point, I'm already getting Lucas telling me, things don't look so good on everybody else. You might want to start pushing a little bit more than a 13, James. I was like, okay. So I grab the objective. I'm good in the forest. I'm kind of just chilling there. I'm still keeping Koopa back because there's the Grudge Buster on the left by the rocks, and he's still in the corner. So I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna do what I can. Magic, I get a 3 on the flux. Go ahead and I dump all my pyromancy, and he stops all of it. I think I fail one on 3 dice. I fail the other, or he stops the other one, and the fucking fireball did nothing. So, shooting. My freaking commandos here are going to start shooting into his Grudge Busters, or his Hold Guardians, because they're the only ones in range. I end up doing a wound. It's going to start off his turn 2, Dwarven Holds. Dwarven Holds turn 2 doesn't do any moving. He actually moves back even more in the corner. He shoots with this fucking organ gun, kills off my squigs, 4 squigs. The other one shoots, kills off 6 more. Now, it's going to be my turn, Orcs and Goblins, turn 3. Okay. Now, Lucas is like, James, we need points. If you could go win big, go win big. We're going to need points. I was like, fuck it, I'll go. So I booked it. You can see my Black Orcs are running, my Savages are running, my Squigs are running. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I moved Koopa on the left side. I'm just thinking, okay, I already weakened up one of his organ guns already. I already see that he's in the corner. He doesn't want to move. So if I start moving aggressively, he's going to have to react. All right. I keep my goblins far enough back so that they're not really an issue, and I basically move my dogs in front of his Hold Guardians on the right side, so only one Hold Guardian unit could go into my Black Orcs, right? Magic, go ahead and do Flaming Swords. I end up using all my shots for my freaking commandos here into the freaking organ gun, and boom, take it out. I believe my attribute ended up doing a wound or 2 onto that organ gun, so I just needed to do like 2 more wounds. My Spear Chucker finally shows up. Boom! Hits one of the freaking copters for 1 wound. The other Spear Chaka shoots. Boom! Hits somebody. I don't even have a picture. It was a Hold Guardian. Did a couple wounds out to the Hold Guardian, but it's going to start off his turn. Turn 3. Dwarven. Dwarven Kingdoms. Dwarven Holds. Turn 3. He's going to go here. He doesn't charge my dogs. I think he was more scared of getting closer and losing points. I don't really understand. I am still confused shitless on why this guy's playing the way he is. He moves his copters in my way just to hold me as chaff, right? This one right here, he just kind of moves out of my line of sight of the Koopa, and I'm just like, what is going on? Over here, this is why he didn't charge me. He decided he was going to shoot me with all the Greybeards with the throwing weapons. So he throws all the throwing weapons. He only does 3 wounds, though. Causes a panic. My dogs run, and they actually run in the way of his Hold Guardians. That is fucking hilarious. That is fucking hilarious to me. Oh my god. Over here, as you can see, this is how it looks. Oh, and then basically, since the dogs are in the way of his organ gun, now he's -1 to shoot past my dogs. And he doesn't shoot the dogs. He shoots the squigs, kills off more squigs. This is turn 4. Orcs and Goblins. Shyhammer, turn 4. Okay, so this is the time that I just decide, fuck it. I have to be hyper aggressive and strong, right? I don't care. I heard from my teammate, I heard from my coach, we need points. So I'm going to go ahead and charge the Black Orcs into the copter, charge the Savages into the copter, and I move the squigs up as a screen for the spider. It's not the smartest strategy, but it's a strategy, okay? It is actually a very poor strategy. But I do this with the expectations that either the squigs are going to kill whoever goes first in front of the spider, or you know, basically I'm just trying to hunt the general at the moment, and all he's been doing is he's been showing me that he doesn't want to charge me. He's been showing me he just backs up. So I'm like, he's not even gonna charge if I go here, right? So I go up like so. Magic, get a 7 on the flux. Go ahead and I do a pyroclastic flow to try to take out his other organ gun. Boom! Take out the organ gun. My dogs rallied, by the way, so I stayed in the way of his freaking Hold Guardians. Spear Chucker! Boom! Hits the fucking Grudge Buster here. Only does 1 wound, but that 1 wound will matter in a minute. And let's go to turn 4. Turn 4, my opponent he declares these charges. As he's declaring these charges, he goes, I want to charge here and here. And again, he doesn't speak much. He goes, you know what? Time out. I said, okay. So I'm already thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Now, I wasn't paying attention when I moved up aggressively because I'm just like, whatever. The squigs are running up. The squigs are going to die regardless. I understand the squigs are going to die either from getting shot or what, but squigs are going to die. I don't care, right? So if he charges into the savages, I'll probably fuck up his guys, right? I'm not too worried about them going into the savages. We'll see how that goes. Well, he calls his coach over for the timeout. During the timeout, his coach goes, what's the line of sight of the squigs? So he shows the line of sight, and he goes, you know what? Your hold guardians have a flank on the squigs. So why don't you go to the squigs, overrun into Koopa, charge the other grudge buster into the ass of Koopa, and you don't charge with the other copter. So he's like, okay. So we go time in. He does exactly that. Charges the freaking hold guardians to the flank, boom, into the freaking squigs, charges into my spider, and now my coach is like, what the fuck, James? And I was like, what? He goes, you're gonna lose Koopa. What the fuck? I'm like, I'll be fine. He goes, no, James. He goes, this is stupid. You should have played smarter. We need big points. And I go, I'll be fine, man. And he goes, no, James. He goes, these guys are strength 6 or 7. He goes, what upgrades does he have on them? And I go, I don't know. He goes, why don't you know that? I'm like, because the guy barely speaks. How am I supposed to know what upgrades he has? He barely told me anything. And so I go up to the guy and I go, hey, what upgrades do those hold guardians have? And he goes, flaming banner. And I'm like, see, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting anywhere, Lucas. I can't help it. Well, after he got in combat, I found out they are strength 6. But my dogs continue to stay in the way there. Anyways, let's go into the close combat. All right, I gotta stay on this picture. Shooting, there's nothing to shoot really. Close combat, we'll stay on this picture. His whole guardians punk my squigs die. He overruns into the spider, like I said. Now I go, what are you gonna do with your grudge buster? Impact hits or grinds? The grinds technically do more damage. I think his coach told him to do grinds. So he goes, grinds. I go, what agility is that? 3. I said, all Koopa's attacks and a couple of the spider attacks into that fucking, into that grudge buster. Koopa goes, kills the fucking grudge buster. Kills it! Spider goes into the unit, ends up killing off one and a couple wounds onto another one. He goes back, he ends up doing 5 wounds. If he would have done impact hits, let's just be honest, he would have had it was D6 plus 1 or D6 plus 3 or something like that. Impact hits. He would have potentially killed Koopa, but he would have to roll really hot. He wasn't going to kill Koopa. Koopa ends up holding a stubborn, and it leaves me on my turn like so. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. I'm going to call it the Wog! I go ahead and I charge. My savages into the freaking, those guys, the whole guardians. I charge my dogs into his general just so the Black Orcs could charge into his whole guardians up there, and everybody will get in. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, as you can see, the K-Pack's still holding that other objective, making sure nothing happens over there. And then over here, close combat, magic. I end up doing flaming swords onto the savages. I end up doing rerolls to hit on his unit. Over here, shooting. These guys are going to start shooting into the freaking graybeards on this side. I end up killing off 8 of his graybeards. I think I shot him last turn too. It's just that this is showing the cumulative effect. Over here, close combat. Boom! He ends up killing off 6 of my Black Orcs. My Black Orcs fuck them up. I mean, they fuck them up. How many wounds did I do? Oh, no. I don't think I killed that many. I think I only killed 1.5, maybe. So he actually holds the combat here. It wasn't horrible for him. My general did swing, but didn't do anything, really. Anyways, close combat over here, though. Holy shit. Rerolls to hit and flaming swords on Savage Orcs is no fucking joke. I didn't give his guys a chance. I did not give his guys a chance. I wiped out his fucking unit. Actually, no. He had like one guy remaining. The one guy ran, and my Savage Orcs chased, and I made him chase towards his general. So my savages went. My spider Koopa, he ends up sitting back for a bit. He's just like, I'm good. I did my job. All right, but as you can see, that's where the savages go. Now, my dogs ended up doing 1 wound onto his general. Oh, that fucking Nymeria. Oh my god, my dogs did 1 wound onto his general. His general only did 1 wound back to the dog. So my dog actually sticks. I have a charge and a wound. He has a wound and a rank. And that's it. We're going to stick there for a round. And as you can see, that's my savages. That's my black orcs. So start off his turn 5. Turn 5, Dwarven holds. He charges his grudge buster into the flank of my black orcs, like so. Alright. Yeah. The fight with the dog, he finally kills the dog. Over here, close combat, his grudge buster only kills off 3 guys. My black orcs end up... I go with great weapons. Oh, did I go with great weapons? I might have just gone extra hand weapons. I think I did extra hand weapons because I was still strength 5. I end up wiping out almost all his hold guardians. His hold guardians lose combat. Does he stick or does he run? And there's a... That's actually a cop this time. It's not a shy ambulance. No, it's a shy ambulance. It was totally a shy ambulance. Anyways, he ends up losing combat. He ends up running away. And I'm trying to find out where I went. I think I just chased him off the table. I think I failed to chase him off the table. I believe I might have killed his grudge buster. I don't even remember. I don't have a good picture of it. Let's go to turn 6, Orcs and Goblins. Apparently, I didn't even know. Was this turn 6? Jesus Christ, it went so fast. Anyways, Savages charges General. My Koopa charges the General. And get in with both. Boom. All right. Black Orcs, obviously. Oh, I just turned the Black Orcs around so I could start working on his Greybeards. So I charged the 1 Greybeards. He flees, and when he fled, I failed the redirect. So his other Greybeards are just chilling there. I moved the K-Pack in a spot where he can't walk onto the objective. So basically, I'm just going to sit there and shoot him with everything magic. I got a 2 on the flux. Go ahead and I do a pyroclastic flow. Try to kill off that 1 unit. Failed to kill him. I only killed 1. I shoot him with the remaining shots, kill off another one, and then I hit the other unit with so much, just trying to cause a panic. I believe those are just clan warriors. Over here, close combat. Woo! Oh my god, the savages are just on a fucking rampage. They just ripped apart the warriors. His general died to Koopa. And I just run him off the table, and I run off the table, so his turn 6, he has really nothing he could do. He can't get on the objective, and all the rest of his guys are on the other side of the table. It is a massive, massive 20-0 victory for the Orcs and Goblins. And now we're going to talk. So I talked to Mr. Erickson here, and I go, Erickson, bro, what went on? I don't understand. What was the strategy? Why were you in the corner? Why did you back up? And he tells me that when we were doing matches, nobody wanted to fight me. The demon player didn't want to fight me. The vampire player didn't want to fight me. And the other guy, I forgot who the other guy was, didn't want to fight me. And he was like, nobody wanted to fight you because the Undying Dynasties, they felt like they were going to lose. He goes, so they told me, his coach or his captain told him to go in the corner and trying to not lose any points to James, to Shyhammer. And that is what he tried to do. I didn't know this. I was mind blown. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I'm mind blown. All right, because as of right now, for the first 3 games, before this game, the top grossing people on the team is Tinny, myself, and Euron. Okay, so what their strategy was, what Portugal's strategy was pretty ingenious, which was you take the top grossers out of the equation, right? And you have their top grossers destroy our other guys, right? And that's what they did. They played a very smart matchup process. Like I said, I didn't feel 100% on the matchups, right? But let's go over my team, how they did. Now, Euron's game was happening right next to me, and that game, I am telling you right now, I don't care if anybody from Portugal is watching, but that game was fucking hilarious. Euron, even though Euron lost, Euron got 5 points, his opponent was shaking, like actually shaking during the game because he was like stressed out from this game. I was like, during the whole game I'm watching him because he's at the table right next to me, and I'm like, What's going on? Is the guy having an epilepsy attack? What is going on? I don't understand why he's shaking so much. And Euron's like, I just kept calling him out on his bullshit. And the guy was like so stressed out that he was shaking, like trembling. Pablo came up to me. He had a big 0, man. Oh, come on, Pablo. I think part of it was I shouldn't have given him the Warriors players. I think that's not his strong suit. Charlie got a 15 on the Ogre Con player. Way to go, Charlie. Titty got a 16 on his. Neil got a 12. It was almost a 10 time, but that last round, Neil pulled in like 600 points, and it just fucking jumped him up to 12-8. Alan, we watched Alan. Alan's game was the last game going on. Alan and Euron were the last two. We needed a total of like... Hold on one second, I'll tell you what we needed. We needed like 17 points between both of them to tie, 18 points to get the win. Alan got 8 points. And it was brutal because it was actually a really close game. Alan got his bruisers to do a couple wounds onto Jose Paulo's Cortesian. So after that, the Cortesian actually ran into a corner and decided to hide because he didn't want to get shot by a cannon. He didn't want to deal with any of the bullshit. He basically just hid in the corner. And then Jose Paulo also had the objective because it was secure target. One of his big units was still alive. Alan was holding steady with his Mammoth Hunters. His Mammoth Hunters were just killing units and doing great, but it was just a close game. Alan, I think, killed more points. Jose Paulo had the objective, and Jose gets the win. That hurts. Joseph got a 0 on the vampire player, and I was like, that didn't go how I was hoping. But it just did. Mancho is a really good player. I know he is. And then I got a 20 on Erickson. So overall, we ended up getting a loss of 84-76. Day 2 was just a total loss. We ended up losing both games. But we had we actually had a good chunk of victories on that game. It's just the 2 zeros really hurt. The 2 zeros, if they would have got 2 points each, we would have got tied. If they would have got 5 points each, we would have won. So those zeros really hurt us. But I was really shocked that they just threw Erickson to the wolves to me. I didn't know that I was the wolf. And I rated it as a red match. I rated it as, oh shit, he's going to shoot the crap out of me. I got really lucky on him not hitting shit on that first round of shooting. I got really lucky on the fact that he basically was just listening to his coach and just saying, okay, I'll sit in the corner. And that cost him the match. He's actually a really cool guy, really friendly guy. Like I said, at the end of the game, we started talking. And when I understood what he was doing, I was like, that makes more sense. And if I would have played it the way I was originally going to play it, that Lucas was like, just take the objective, walk away, I would have only got 13 points, and his team would have been happy with that. But anyways, guys, yeah. So the next round, we're going to go ahead and play Argentina. Argentina is somebody we played. Did we play them all 3 years? I think we only played them 2 years. We played them our first year in Spain. I don't think we played Argentina the second year. And then we played them again this year. So we're going to go ahead. There was a team meeting, or a captain's meeting, sorry. Right here you can see this is the captain's meeting. Most of the captains attended. There was a lot of food there, hors d'oeuvres and stuff. But this is basically talking about stuff like the future of ETC, finances, name changes, or stuff like the Lego Army going to be included. What ended up happening, I'm being 100% honest with you guys, is the guy in the blue shirt right there, I forgot his name, but the guy in the blue shirt brought up the fact that the Lego Army is allowed this year. And if you guys haven't seen, I'll show you a picture of the Lego Army. It's a Bretonnian army from Germany. Kingdom of Aquitaine army from Germany that was made out of Legos. And technically it's legal. I want to tell you guys my standpoint. I don't mind if he plays this. You know, there's a lot of people bring it up that it's probably cost more money, this Lego army, than it does for an actual army of Kingdom of Aquitaine. People were complaining about the 3-color minimum. People were complaining about this is a spit in the hobby. People were complaining about a lot of stuff, right? Personally, I don't care. And as the guy in blue said, you know, technically he has flock, he has 3 colors, And people were like, yeah, but he didn't paint it himself. And he goes, it has 3 colors of paint, and there's a lot of people who buy their armies painted already. You know, and he goes, there's nothing we could do about it this year. And I get what he was trying to say. He was trying to say we could vote on following years if something like this would be allowed. Now, the guy next to Alex, he's wearing a white shirt with glasses. He was going on about why this is shouldn't happen and whatever, but they were going on back and forth, not saying anything. They were saying the same comments back and forth for like 40 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going on way too long, and I need to get some food, some real food. So I decided to leave. I was just like, this is not getting anywhere. They're going in circles. So this went on way too long. And I think a lot of the captains had the same problem I did, where they just ended up leaving. Nothing was resolved on the Lego army, which, again, I don't mind. It was actually kind of a cool army. My take personally. Well, we ended up going to dinner. We ended up talking about who's going to fight who in the Argentina match. And as you can see, there's my team. We had a great time. You know, to be honest, this is what makes the trip for me. Is hanging out with these guys. These guys are awesome guys to hang out with, have dinner with. We ended up just like, you know, just sharing stories, war stories on the games, stuff like that. Yeah. Anyways, here's a picture of Joseph playing Charming Stellar Senior, Charming Stellar. And then, guys, when I got back to my Airbnb, I was looking at the war score, the Tourney Keeper, and that 20-0 catapulted me to 12th place in the ETC. Right now, I am killing in the ETC. The only person that is going to get more credit than me, besides the 11 people above me, is Captain Titty. Captain Titty on my team, Feeble, is rank number 2 in the whole ETC, and I'm ranked number 12. Right now, I'm holding the top spot for the best Orc and Goblin player. Not so far much lower than me is Norway's Jorund. Jorund is following my footsteps as the best Orc and Goblin, and the last 2 games, it's me and him going head to head for who's the best Orc and Goblin player. And these next 2 games are pretty crucial for that spot. Anyways, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm enjoying making this whole ETC experience. I explained this to my girlfriend, you know, who asked, like, how does this trip compare to your other trips, you know, the other ETCs? I've been to Greece, I've been to Spain, and I've been to Croatia last year, and then this year Serbia. Personally, the actual vacation, didn't compare to like Greece or Croatia. I had a blast at those 2, right? But this year, this was the funnest tournament out of all the tournaments I've been to. Period. This is the funnest tournament. I felt the most team camaraderie. I had a great time, and I felt like, besides this game, I felt like the matchup process was a lot more in control. And you're gonna see it in this next game of Argentina, how I flipped the script on the matchup process. But that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoy making it. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be putting up more Shyhammer content very soon. If you guys would like to show further support, you could always go to my Patreon. Any donation is helpful. I can't state that enough, but even $1 a month helps add up for pay for me to get to the ETC and also to these other tournaments that I'm going to, that I have to take planes to get to. Besides that, you could also, if you want to do like a one-time donation, I do leave my PayPal down below. You could just go to my PayPal, make a one-time donation. Everything is also useful. Gotta thank Erickson for being a good sport and trying to hide in the corner. And yeah, and until Argentina, guys, see you next time. Take care, and oh, I almost didn't say who got what points. I'm sorry. You probably see it rolling up already. I am so sorry. All right, let's go over my guys here. Dread's Iron Legion ended up getting 718 points, which was pretty big. They took out that unit of or no, oops, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Go back here. They ended up taking 888 points for taking out the freaking Hold Guardians, and a couple extra like chaff units. Baxter the Pyromaniac got 639 for taking out an Organ Gun and a couple units of Greybeards and stuff. Bazooka's Commandos took up 546, taking out the Organ Gun and a couple Greybeards. Foot Clan is probably my MVP. I don't know. You know what? Foot Clan gets like a sub MVP. They took out 1,100 points for taking out the Hold Guardians and taking out the Generals unit. Koopa gets the MVP award for fucking taking it like a champ and wrecking that freaking Grudge Buster and holding on to the freaking Hold Guardians on the left side. If I would have lost that left flank, Lucas would have been so pissed off at me. I'm just telling you right now. Squigs didn't do shit but die. K-Pac didn't do anything but hold the objective. The squad, I don't think they shot anybody that was worth a damn. The Chukkas ended up taking 215, finally showing up. Alright, guys. For my team, Titty took 16, I took 20. Charlie took 15. Euron took 5. Neil took 12. Alan took 8. Pablo and Joseph both took 0. As you can see, the points on the other side in parentheses, their total for the tournament so far. So Titty's on top with 72. I took 64. Euron's at 51, which is my third highest grosser. Charlie and Neil are tied at 33, and Alan and Pablo are both at 24. Joseph's at 12. And yeah, anyways, that's where we're at. All right, guys. Like I said, take care and peace.